Hello friend, it's Mrs. Olson. This video is hopefully going to help you get started with our 5 themes of geography project. Okay, so let's begin with our learning target, which reads that you are going to be able to synthesize, so you're taking all of the information that we have used in our 5 themes of geography unit. You're going to synthesize that knowledge about the 5 themes of geography into an artistic and written format. So my vision is for kids to create a travel brochure. Now, this travel brochure is our inspiration. You might put it in a trifold type of travel brochure. You might create a poster. You might do a slideshow either with Google Slides or PowerPoint to create your project. So any which way or form this information is presented by you for me will probably be okay. All right, so I am going to scroll down here to the criteria, and it says each theme must include a picture. So just to recap, our 5 themes of geography are location, place, regions, movement, and then human-environment interaction. Okay, so each of these themes, it has to have a picture that accompanies it. So the pictures, they can either be hand-drawn, so you can make them. You can cut them out of magazines. You can go onto Google Images and copy and paste images from the internet, or perhaps you've even been to the Hawaiian Islands and you can use photographs that were taken during your trip. Okay, so let's focus on the first theme of geography, which is location. I'm going to minimize the criteria and start with the website one of the websites that I gave you, which is National Geographic for Kids. So at the top of it, it has a beautiful picture slideshow of Hawaii. And then it says get facts and photos about the 50th state. So here they start with some fast facts, but we are looking for information on location. So absolute and relative location. This website starts out with the history. That's not going to help us quite yet with our theme of location. Here we're getting closer, geography and landforms. Okay, so right here, Hawaii sits over 2,000 miles west of California. And then we have information about it being the world's largest chain. Only 7 of its 132 islands are inhabited. Okay, so now we're getting into information that could be included in the region section. So I'm going to scroll just a little bit because this is kind of what I expect my students to do, is that you are going to kind of skim through and look for information on the section that you are working on. Okay, so this goes into wildlife, this goes into natural resources. All of this will be applicable to other themes that you're going to get to in a little while. But we want to find information on absolute and relative location. So what I am going to do is to pull up Google for my search engine, and we are going to search for the absolute location of Hawaii. Now, in the Zoom session, some kids were a little bit surprised that I said that it was okay to use Google to do it this way, because when we taught absolute and relative location, I really wanted kids to understand and then use their map skills by looking at the latitude and longitude on a big map and then finding the absolute location with their eyes and their fingers. Because I've already taught you these skills, I think then it is okay to be able to use technology, I had a typo there, to use technology to be able to find the information that needs to go into the project. Okay, so you can use these coordinates. Now, I don't think it's super important to use every single one of these numbers. So if you want to use 19 north and a 155 degrees west, or 19.8 north and 155.5 degrees west, you can do that. So back to, I'm going to pull up Word again because I want to write a new document. So just for getting started purposes and note-taking purposes, this is what I suggest for you, is to just use a blank word processing document, write the word location. So this is going to be your category that you're going to be really taking some notes on. So absolute location is 19 degrees north and 155 degrees west. Now, let's find some information on relative location. Okay, I'll flip back to this, and I am going to pull up a map of Hawaii. And I want to find one that actually gives us that area of the world. Let's try this one. Okay, so this one gives us a rather large view of where it is located, so that could help us a little bit. I'm just going to scroll through and see what else this website gives us. Okay, so I'm going to come back up here and flip back to our note sheet and say that Hawaii lies in the Pacific Ocean. It is west of the west coast of the United States. It is south of Alaska. And if you've ever flown to Hawaii, maybe you have, it takes quite a long time to get there. So what I am going to do is, once again, I am going to use Google as my search engine, and I want to know how far it takes to fly from Seattle to Hawaii on a plane. So let's see what this gives us. So, of course, it's going to give us shopping. There's how much a ticket costs right now. But to Honolulu, which is probably where most people are going to fly into, it is going to be about 6 hours. See, it says 5 hours and 55 minutes. So back to our note-taking sheet. Okay, what else could we include in location? So I'm going to move this over a little bit and remind myself what could go into this paragraph that we're writing about location. So we've got absolute, we've got relative, it says bordering cities, countries, landmarks. So we've got that it falls off the coast of the west coast of the United States, so that includes that. We have that it falls south of Alaska. Let's bring up the map again. I'm going to go backwards. bear with me a little bit, because this is what I expect students to do also, and that is to go through and look for the information that they want to find. Okay. So I think what also I am going to say is that the group of islands lies east of Asia, because I know that Asia is on the other side of that. Okay, so let's go to our next theme, which is place. Okay, so on my note sheet here, I'm going to write place and remind myself what has to go into place. So we've got physical features and human features. And I think for organizational purposes that I am going to write human features and physical features so that I know what it is that I am looking for. Okay, and probably, here's my guess, we're going to run into physical features first. Okay, so I want to go back to this one. This is the National Geographic for Kids. And here we are. Okay, so with physical features, we've got volcanic islands. We can talk about how there is magma that comes out of these volcanoes, and it then becomes the Earth's crust, so it becomes part of the terrain in Hawaii. So okay, so I think you're kind of getting the gist here. And then you can scroll a little bit more. You could include on the Big Island that there is the Volcanoes National Park. You could include all of the beautiful beaches. And this is one of the unique things about Hawaii, in that not only are the beaches filled with white sand, but they've got all different colors of sand, okay? So you could include that in the physical features part too. Of course, there is a lot more that you could put in the theme of place, and I think this is one of those categories in this website that would help you to find that. Now, I do want to skip ahead just a little bit to movement and then human environment interaction. So with the message that I sent you the other day, there is a specific website that I think that would help you more with human environment interaction. But maybe before you get there, you can work on location, place, and regions, and perhaps submit what you find for those categories or those themes into the rough draft. I can give you some feedback, and then we can either make another video, or I can help you in a different way with finding information for movement and then human environment interaction. And then one other thing that I wanted to do was to bring up this student example. This was actually from a student that I had last year. He's now in the 7th grade, but he decided to do his on Tombstone, Arizona. And then I wanted to be able to show you that he's got each section or each theme in a different place on his poster board. So here's location, place, movement, region, and of course human environment interaction is at the bottom. Each one of them have a picture. They are labeled, and then he just decided to do it this way, where he cut out the paragraphs that he wrote about each of the themes. So I wanted to give you an overview of that really quickly to be able to show you how it could turn out. All right, friend, I hope this helps you to get started a little bit, and if it doesn't, or if you have follow-up questions after you kind of work through this video, please let me know.